Welcome to Inkpulp Live, everybody. It's a party. What up, Jim? What up, Jamie?
Jim's too chill to talk right now, Sean. He's just taking a minute. He's taking his time.
Okay, all right, yeah. Let's all give Jim his space.
Still practicing my ninjutsu moves.
Dude, I like how you do Tai Chi and call it ninja moves.
I know. It has nothing. Ninja moves are like brutally murdering people and assassinating them, and my ninja moves are just like
Tai Chi.
tranquil.
Meditation.
I was trained. Well, since we're doing like a G.I. Joe theme show, I was trained. I don't know if you know this deep cut, but in the G.I. Joe mythology, there's the soft master and the hard master. And they're the guys that trained Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. But once Chris Piers is our guest tonight. We're stoked to have him. Once Chris comes on, I'll be asking him about all this nerdy.
Yeah, I want to hear all about it. I need an education. I need to be educated tonight. I mean, I loved the cartoon when I was a kid. They were the best action figures of all time. The G.I. Joe action figures.
So good, man.
Excited. Yeah, definitely.
We're children of the 80s, so
hell yeah.
Thanks for everybody for joining us. This is going to be a star-studded affair. And also blatant pimpage of the new merch, guys, just in time for the holidays. Jamie, can you show 7th Street Vigilante join our Thug Society, please, if you can?
Oh, dude, Thug Society is so good. That's so good.
You can
Jim, you got someone asking about your Ballpoint Slayer book in the comments there.
Yes. Yeah. If you buy Ballpoint Slayer, I don't have a copy right in front of me, but it comes with an original drawing on the back cover. There's like a little window for an original. So, and now that that's been brought up, I'm also planning issue 2 of that Artbook series for hopefully January, February release.
So you're releasing like 2 books a year now. You're doing a comic and an art book a year.
Yes. Yeah.
That's gangster.
So, and I sent out an update for Savage Street Vigilante, just letting people know, like, we're lettering, designing the book. Justin Stewart's doing like, the credits pages for me. And I'm leaving town tomorrow. And then when I get back, we're going to be getting all the proofs from the printer. So we should be shipping out late January, early February, just as a safety net. I'm just going to say that as a safety net.
Awesome. Keep doing the Tai Chi. That'll calm everyone down who's getting angry right now.
Chill, babies. Chill, babies.
Oh, it's all love.
You're going to get your comics. You're going to get... I'm not stealing anybody's money.
Jim, let me just real quick. After
what do you got going
on? Well, I just real quick, I got to tell you, after the show's over, I want to talk to you about the next episode we're doing, but not now. But what I'm doing, so actually, I'm starting something tonight. I didn't think I was going to start until the new year, but next year I'm going to be really working on, like every year I try to find like a specific goal for my art, and this year was all about getting a better understanding of values. So every painting I did, I started doing studies for it, as you know, and I talked to Leah Bonetti and Matteo and DK around a lot and got a lot of good information. So next year, it's about simplicity. So I'm going to be looking at like Darwin Cook, Bruce Timm, and tonight I have this book, Chris Somney's Artist Edition, Black Widow. So I'm going to ink.
It's the good shit.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I'll show everyone the book in a minute, but I'm going to ink my Snake Eyes with this one pen, and I'm going to keep it very graphic, very simple, and see how that goes.
Just one pen, Sean.
Just one.
How is that even possible?
Well, I mean, I might reach into my pile of pens, but that is the one. Nice. But if I need a really fine line, I might come to this guy. So maybe
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you come up with, man.
We'll see.
Jamie, can we show off? I got one new piece of Savage Street Vigilante fan art since
Oh yeah.
last
Wait, real
week.
quick. We have someone in the messages who had shoulder surgery this morning and didn't want to miss the live show. So let's give
damn.
it up to Ghost Ship. Thank
Go
you.
ship.
That's dedication.
Hope you're recovering.
Yeah, I hope you're on some good drugs.
Sean,
Take those
someone's
drugs.
Someone's asking what kind of pen you're using. What is the one pen?
Oh, I'm using it's a Tombow. It's like a little. It's got like a little.
Yeah.
My camera's not great. It's a little squishy. People call these brush pens, but I don't call them that because they're not like hairs. It's just one like fiber tip that's squishy.
Chris has answered in the chat. Is that correct? I
Yes.
didn't want to attempt to
Yes.
pronounce that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I don't know the Japanese word for it, but it is a Tombow, and I guess it's that word. Nas only needed one mic. Sean needs one pen. Damn straight.
that's cool.
All I
Nice.
need is one pen. Love
Nice.
that. Dude, there's so much good hip hop that came out in the past 2 weeks. I'm losing my mind. I just
Okay.
we got to talk about it.
Well, let's talk about it when we draw.
Okay, that's cool.
Should
That
we show
sounds
this piece first?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
This
sorry.
piece.
I interrupted the fan art.
So that is Erwin Papa. He's part of the Long Beach Ink and Drink crew. Fantastic piece. This is him.
It's great.
Sean did the pencils last week for the Hulk. He took those
No,
pencils.
that's my Rhino. That's my Rhino.
Oh, Rhino. I'm sorry. He took those Rhino pencils and inked them up and morphed it into Savage Street Vigilante. It's so badass.
It's so
just great.
badass to see like mine and Jim's works combined by another artist, and it came out fucking fantastic.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Really badass. So Erwin.papa on Instagram, and definitely check out the Ink and Drink crew. Those are the guys that kickstarted the book The Sewer Boys, which is the Ninja Turtles kind of tribute. And they just do really fresh stuff, man. Just indie, making their own thing, and that's what we love. So really cool, man.
Really
and Sean,
nice.
speaking of indie, let me switch my camera because I wanted to give love to one of our homies and supporters, Adam Archer. I supported his Indiegogo. Let me adjust the lights real quick. I supported his Indiegogo, and the book showed up.
Oh shit!
It looks super sweet. There's stickers.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, his main character, Eddie Atomic, is awesome.
Is that him? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love.
There's a sticker of just a girl's butt.
Oh, that's never a bad thing.
Always great. Little bookmark. And then this is the book. It's like
who's that cutie? Wait. Who's the cutie right there?
This one?
Yeah. That's a nice
postcard.
drawing.
Yeah, dude, he's like super stylized.
Yeah, I love it.
Drawer. And the book, I mean, look at that. Look at that cover.
That's so cool.
It's crazy.
Dude,
his characters are not
one.
He did
a drawing
for me.
Damn. That's awesome.
So awesome. So it's Adam Archer on all his socials, on Instagram and Twitter and everything, whatever you want to call it. But his work is like, super stylized and just batshit.
Yeah, I love it. Is Adam in the chat?
He's sometimes here. I don't know if he's here tonight.
Adam,
but
if you're here, I'm just curious, where can people get the book now that the campaign is over?
Yeah, that is a great question. Let me see the info. There should be info. You guys, we always stress to you, you got to put your info in the books.
Yeah, totally. Dude, Jason Hatch just said he's working on some fan art now. Hope it comes out all right. You guys definitely inspire me to keep picking up my pen. Hell yeah. Can't wait to see it, Jason. Oh, and Chris said they're making Sewer Boys 2 right now. Did you know that?
Ah, nice. That's great. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming if you go to Adam Archer's Instagram or social.
Yeah,
Like you'll
Imagine.
find links, but his work is worth supporting. It's just
Yeah,
it's
it really is.
crazy. I love
I
it.
just
love
put I put the link to the Indiegogo in the chat if anyone wants to check it out.
Is it
Nice.
still up?
It seems
Like,
to be.
is
It
it?
says pick
You
your
can
perf
still
and stuff.
order from it.
Seems
Oh,
like
okay.
it.
Kill Me drops this week from Dark Horse. Tom Williams said, and he drew and plotted a story in there. All right, well, that's awesome, Tom. I'd love to see that.
Sweet.
Congrats, Jamie. I'm going to say it in Scottish. Ready?
Go, please do.
Don't do it.
Congrats.
Try that again, John. One more time.
Congrats.
Congrats.
How do you say it? How do you say it?
Congrats.
All right, I wasn't that far off.
It's just like 80% off. It's fine. Close enough. Close enough, John.
Actually, I do want to show. I finished the Rhino piece that we. I didn't finish it on the show the other week, so I finally got some time to kind of come in and
That
go
looks
ham with it.
crazy, man. That looks so good.
And
Nice.
I also finished the Hulk from last show.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's sick.
Hell yeah, man.
So good.
Came out fun.
Get it textural.
It is. Where tonight will be the opposite of that.
Yes. I'm gonna do some sketchbook doodling tonight.
I'm hype.
Hey, look at that
All right.
PO box. You guys can send us stuff right there to the PO.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Also,
Troy
I
Nixie.
see. Dude, where'd you get the Bones Brigade sticker? That is fucking awesome.
Oh, I bought that at a skate shop a couple months ago.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Little K-Fam
Oh,
Sunday.
where'd you get Troy's sticker?
He sent that to me when he sent me the original art for. He did that Savage Street Vigilante piece for me.
Right. That's right.
Kyle Armageddon, I've sent in some fan art. I haven't been to the PO box in a couple weeks. I apologize. I was trying to get there before tonight, and we'll have to do mailbag next episode when I get back in town. So if you send stuff to the PO, it's safely waiting there. Just lonely
Awesome.
at the post office, but
Awesome. So,
We'll
guys, tonight we have a special guest.
Chris, do you want to?
indeed.
Chris is going to show up dressed like Storm Shadow.
Chris is in the waiting room. Why don't you give him a little intro here? This is the other half of Jim's awesome podcast called Trash Movie Bonanza.
And great intro, by the way, Sean. And Chris, most legendary for the unbelievable, the unbeatable ComicTropes YouTube empire.
Yes, absolutely.
Which features incredible videos that he makes, tons of effort, editing, research, comics history, always fun, always positive. He also has ComicTropes After Dark, which is where our show, Trash Movie Bonanza, little blatant pimpage there.
Oh yeah.
You can hear both of us knuckleheads talking about the best block B movies available. And then we force Jamie to watch these movies so that he can edit our episodes together. And Jamie has been tortured for the last year with some of the most garbage movies ever made.
Well, to be fair, he's been tortured with our terrible senses of humor for the past year too.
There's one episode of Trash Movie Bonanza where you can hear me beatboxing if you look for it. I don't know if you remember that, Jim.
Wait, which one was that? Is it?
I can't remember the film. It was like
not the Gamera one.
That was the one. That was the one.
Oh, Gamera. Yeah. It was oh fuck, Gamera versus something.
Chris will be able to tell us. Chris Piers.
He has the video, folks. He has.
And I can sing.
Welcome.
Dude, that hoodie is incredible. That's
Dude,
fantastic, man.
I dug this out of the closet today. All of a sudden, I remembered I've got to have some G.I. Joe gear. I think I got this like 10 years ago. And you can literally zip it up.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's awesome.
It's a little tighter now than it was 10 years ago. I'll say that.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. You need swords strapped to your back.
I don't need that. That would be bad for all involved. Thank you for the invite. Thanks
for joining us, man.
Yeah,
This
thanks
is
for
a
joining
pleasure.
us, Chris.
I'm
We're
gonna
very hyped.
switch up my camera because we're all getting ready.
Yeah,
Give me a
time to
sec.
draw.
That's not it.
So, guys, while I'm on camera, I got a little tidbit for some of you. So, if you get your pencils down before you ink, take a little kneaded eraser and do a little dabbing. And what you're going to end up doing is lifting a lot of the excess graphite. You'll be left with a much lighter image. You can see where I've done the dabbing versus where I haven't. And that way it's less you have to worry about erasing after you put the ink down.
Dude, that's awesome. That's a good tip.
And if any of you guys at home want to ink Sean's pencils, there's a pinned link where you can download them.
Yeah, guys, download the Snake Eyes. I penciled this pretty quick, pretty loose, pretty simple. So, like I said, let me show you guys a little bit of what I'm looking at, so we can talk about that before we get into too much. But I've got this cool Chris Samnee Artist Edition of the Black Widow.
Oh wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, my camera's a little close, but you guys can see like this sort of stuff. Just the simplicity of everything. Really graphic.
But, I mean, his
really...
drawing is perfect, though. That's what
I know. I mean, that's
Yeah.
people make the mistake that like it's easy to be simple. It's so much harder. So that's why I want to work on it. But like this is really what I want to lean into. Like just there's like it's just black and white. There's no optical grays like I normally use. And I just want to see what I can do with this because it's kind of
what's
like
incredible about this is
what?
The shading is fantastic. And there's like next to no texture. That's just so brave. And then he's using texture
That's
for
exactly
like backgrounds.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like you're fully exposed as an artist. You have no like tricks to hide behind.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna spend next year working on that. We'll see how that goes. And you guys,
Chris,
can
are you
watch-
picking up Chris Samnee's new Batman and Robin book? Have you seen that?
I haven't, but I probably should because I do love me some Somni.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful
I need
stuff. I mean, he's
that.
really firing on all cylinders with it. It's
Some
Yeah,
artists
Mateo told me
are
this.
always firing on all cylinders.
yeah. But I mean, you can tell he's especially excited to draw Batman. You know what I mean? He's
That's nice. Yeah,
really
I
in
do
his
know what you
zone.
mean. I'm using the same brush that Sean was
Oh,
showing off.
awesome!
I love
Twinsy.
these things.
Yeah, they are really.
Oh
great.
yeah.
They are great.
I
So, Chris-
literally just got like a bag of them recently because I go
nice.
through them. I go through them really fast.
Where do you get yours, Chris? Do you get
Just
them at
Amazon. Although I
Oh.
should go to what is it? Jet Pens.
Yeah, that's where I get mine. Jet
Yep.
Pens.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your love of GI Joe.
Oh
I wanna hear
man.
more about this.
You know what? G.I. Joe is a huge reason why I'm into comics. It wasn't the first comic that I got, but if I jump myself back to about third grade, I had a paper route and it would end at a convenience store. And I could like use my week's paper route money to get myself like a snack or something. And one day I see some Transformers comics and I was young and I liked Transformers. So I picked those up. They were only okay, to be honest. They were like, but it was my intro to getting myself comics. I came back the next week and there wasn't a new Transformers comic. I didn't know, the schedule or anything. But
Right.
there was a G.I. Joe comic. I'm like, well, I kind of like G.I. Joe. And I got that. And that comic was so much better. It was like a cover by Mike Zeck. Larry Hama was writing a story where like the Joes were imprisoned in a gulag. And it was just so much more realistic and gritty. The art was good. And it was like, I was hooked on comics.
That's badass.
So
That's
G.I.
awesome.
Joe plays a large part in my love of comics.
Oh, I love hearing that, man. That's great.
Yeah, I got exposed to the G.I. Joe comics at a young age too, man, just because they were available at the grocery store that I would go to with my mom every Friday, and I would either get a Spider-Man comic or, if they had the new G.I. Joe issue, but it was limited with the selection because it was basically like a magazine rack. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like, well, whatever's on the rack these are your options.
Oh yeah.
But you know, G.I. Joe was one of the books I started buying, and then I started, you know, aggressively seeking out all the back issues to get the full story.
You know what's funny is I look back now, and I went to that like every week I went to that convenience store. There was a spinner rack and tried lots of different Marvel and DC, but they did have a few indie things. And back then, that was like Now Comics. Remember, like Now would get
Oh, of
like
course. Yeah.
Ralph Snart, Married with
Yes.
Children,
Yes. Oh
all
my
that
God.
crazy stuff.
They did the Speed Racer comics as
They
well.
had Speed Racer, actually like imported from Japan, so that one was actually pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's badass. Yeah.
Maybe I should talk about Now Comics on the channel sometime. I bet a lot
That
of
could
people
be an
don't remember
episode.
them.
That could be an episode for sure.
So let's see. Jim, you're clearly drawing like Snake Eyes, and Sean, you are too.
Yeah. I mean, like my nerd for GI Joe really doesn't go deep, and it just goes back to the animated series from
Yeah,
when I
we're
was a
all
kid.
close to the same age. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and the action figures. The action figures I thought were the best action figures
They
ever.
were.
And I really enjoyed the cartoon, but Snake Eyes for me when I was that age was just everything. There was just no cooler character.
I think he was very cool in the comic. He actually wasn't on the cartoon a whole lot back then.
I know, that's
because he didn't talk. So
Right,
what do you do?
Exactly.
I was digging
Thank you
through.
very much for inviting me, by the way, guys. This is very, very exciting and fun to like.
Oh, dude, our pleasure.
Just hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, man. It's
a pleasure to get to know you guys on this level.
All in the same hemisphere of comics on YouTube, and cool people doing cool things, Chris. When we're not talking about
garbage
trash movies.
Yeah, I was, and Jamie, like we've only like talked online, but this is my first time to say like hello in person to editor Jamie.
Oh damn.
And, shit.
It feels weird that we've known each other for so long, Chris.
I know, man. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh no, thank you for coming.
We really couldn't do the show without you, and it is kind of funny to think though that like Jim and I were like, oh, we love talking about like all this garbage. And then we're just sort of forcing another guy to like watch whatever we want to watch.
Yes,
it's good for me because I've never seen any of this stuff. So every week I'm just like, well, what's it going to be this week?
Yeah,
what is it? This time?
Yeah, we got to give so many props to Jamie. Jamie has changed everything for, at least for my podcasting stuff.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, Inkpulp Live didn't exist before Jamie. Inkpulp Podcast with Eric and Mateo existed a little bit before Jamie, but it really stepped up when Jamie came on. And Jamie, would you like to tell the world what awesome news we received today?
I was wondering if you were gonna,
the Spotify news, you mean?
Yeah.
That the Inkpulp podcast is in the top 5% of video podcasts on Spotify.
Of all video podcasts, like that.
All video podcasts.
I don't quite understand that yet, but that's crazy.
Congratulations.
That's badass, man. That is wild.
So thanks to all of you, the Inkpulp community, for making that happen.
The world domination is beginning.
It is,
Sean.
It is.
Sean, you're saying thank you to me, but I need to say thank you to you, dude, because I was working at a corporate editing job before I started working with Sean, and now I'm living the dream.
I remember Jamie said
my
dream would be to start my own podcast editing business. And I think I said to you, Jamie, I don't think that's going to take too long.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, Jamie's got Jim and Chris hiring him.
Yep.
He's got, there was a point where David Finch was going to use him, and then Mark Millar scooped him up. And who else are you working for now? You're like working for everyone.
Yeah, I work on Declan Shalvey's show.
Deck is so nice. I had a great time getting to talk to him a good amount in New York. He's incredible. Did you guys see how many Irishmen that followed him to that convention this year.
No, that's
There were like
funny.
7.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
you obviously had last week Danny, and
Yeah.
Danny's had a lot of success. Reese Hannigan, I want to say, he draws like Star Wars for Dark Horse right now, and who else? There was like I don't know. There were like a bunch of them, and it was funny because they go, we all know each other because Ireland isn't like that big. So if you're into comics and you go to a convention, you all know each other,
Right.
and
Right.
they're all like, Deck is like the big brother because he made it big first, so they all sort of follow his lead.
That's awesome.
That is cool to hear. That's great.
It's really cool.
They were teaching me all sorts of phrases that I've already forgotten. By the way, a little bit related. Every time, Sean, you give Jamie a little bit of your Scottish accent, what I was joking about last week is, to me, that just sounds like the Shrek voice. You're like, I don't watch that, and I'm like, that's fine. I think I only saw the first one, but that's Mike Myers doing his Scottish voice.
Okay. So I'm not that far off. I mean, I'm not saying Mike Myers.
Right, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Sean. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Chris,
Jamie, I gotta tell you, my wife thinks I do a good Scottish accent, and I told her how upset you get when I try to do it, and she was flabbergasted.
Sean, I think she's trying to protect your feelings, and that's good. That's good. That makes her a good wife.
Jamie, don't encourage any of this behavior. Do not.
Sean, I've heard worse. I've heard way worse. All right, I give you it tight. But
Okay, all right, there we go. Now we're talking. There we go.
Chris,
I just saw in the chat. There's Hooded Cobra Commander 788, and that's my friend Brian. I became friends because he was a YouTuber that actually reviewed classic vintage GI Joe stuff that we grew up with.
Oh, damn.
And like was just an early supporter of my show. He was very kind, and it was nice to have somebody to talk YouTube stuff with. It's nice to see you in there, Brian. Like a real GI Joe expert, of which there are. It's such a friendly community, to be honest. The GI Joe community.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but it's great.
Really, I mean, it's had a bit of a renaissance this year. I mean, obviously the GI Joe comic by Joshua Williamson with Tom Riley's art is doing incredible.
Yep.
They've got the new toys that are coming out these days.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They've had like this classified line of 6-inch for the last several years, and it's really nice. It's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm a nerd for that stuff. Sorry. I could go off on a tangent talking GI Joe.
That's why you're here. We want the tangents. Bring the tangents, Chris.
Bring the noise.
I had a lot of GI Joe figures because I had like a lot of jobs when I was a kid. I just worked a lot, and when I moved across the country 10 years ago, I sold all my Transformers, all my GI Joe, and almost all my comics. I sold like between 25 and 30 long boxes.
Wow.
It was just time to like sort of unburden myself, from stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I don't really miss it that much.
I get that. I totally get that.
I did a big comics purge around like 2008 or so, and I do sort of regret getting rid of some of the stuff.
There are a few that I've come in retrospect, I was like, oops, probably should have kept that. It meant something. But you don't know.
One comics purge when I moved from Savannah to Atlanta, and I regret the fuck out of it.
Really?
It was like my 90s shit.
Yeah.
And I was in, I just finished art school, so I was like all like art nerd brained. Like the 90s were so far removed from what I was trying to do, and then like I eventually circled back to loving the 90s again, and now I'm like, fuck, man, I would have loved to have that shit.
Yeah, I've come back to like a big 90s nostalgia boom lately too, including I'd be curious to hear. Frank Miller had a huge art style change like 20 years ago. And at first, when Dark Knight Strikes Back came out, I wasn't a big fan, to be honest. I've kind of come around and kind of love that he's just doing his own thing.
Yeah. I like his new weird
It's
style
so
of stuff.
blocky.
Yeah, not every cover hits me,
No.
but there's been a couple, like the Moon Knight one recently that he did really stands out. It's just super bold and graphic. And then Chris, that album cover you showed on your
For the weekend.
Monday stream I thought that was fantastic. Did you see
I
that?
saw that. I did. I was blown away. I was like, how did Frank Miller and The Weeknd connect?
You know, I like The Weeknd, and his music videos do
I
have
love
a
The
little bit
Weeknd.
of a sci-fi nerdy vibe. So
Yeah, he's super dark too,
yeah, he is.
which I like.
So it makes a little sense.
Here's my thoughts on Frank Miller now. Frank is such a great designer naturally, and he's a stylist naturally, but I just feel like what I see from him is the work of someone who's just abused themselves so hard that the technical ability is just shot.
That might be so.
I don't see someone saying like, this is my choice to draw this way now. I see like a shell of what was once there, but that's just
But he's always had an ugly style, right, Sean? I mean, even when my favorite era is his Daredevil stuff, but really it's still pretty like brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, true, but if I look at something like 300, I see a much better artist than I see now. A lot more finesse, a lot more, and Sin City is just incredible.
Yeah, I admire the hell out of him for trying something so different. Then,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not like hating on what Frank's doing. I just I hear people saying that they like it, and I'm just kind of like, well, I just see like a shell of what was there. Yeah. I mean, I do too. I mean, yeah, I definitely do. But when people say they like it, I'm just really curious to hear what they're seeing, because I'm seeing something through a very different lens.
I have to divorce my memories of his old stuff and just go, he's doing whatever he's doing. And I don't know. I kind of like how you could sort of see it from like 20 feet away or 1 foot away, and it looks kind of the same. Like it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, that gets to what I was saying earlier. He's such a brilliant designer. He just can't help but be great at that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, it's hit or miss for me. I mean, because artistically, Dark Knight Returns is still my absolute favorite from him. So
yeah, but what Dark Knight Returns to me is as much Klaus as it is Frank.
The more you learn about Klaus, the more you see how much he added. He did an issue of the last Halloween, Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween last month. It was just all Klaus. It was really interesting he does so much inking. It was cool to see, oh, well, Klaus is a great inker because he's a great artist. He's got all the fundamentals underneath all of that.
Absolutely. Klaus is a legend.
Yeah.
We got to have a epic lunch with him after New York Comic-Con this year.
Oh,
You did?
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. There's not many inkers anymore, are there? Like just inkers.
Klaus and I talk about that a lot, like just the art of inking and what's going on. He, for a period, Klaus was very down, thinking it was just fading out. And I was like, I think it's the most hopeful time, because there are a lot less people inking traditionally now, but the ones that are pushing inking into like worlds it's never known before. And it's, I think like we've got some of the most amazing, innovative inkers ever right now.
But it's
Anyone stand out? Because I'm always looking for like, new things to discover.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about people who ink other artists. I'm talking about like people who
Okay.
generally ink themselves. Like if you look at just like
Yeah.
Sean Murphy does, what Mateo's doing, what Jim is doing, what Jason Sean when he's not using a iPad is doing. That there's so many people pushing inking in so many cool different directions.
Sure.
I think it's a very healthy, fun time.
Now, Chris,
Yes, sir.
what about the controversial G.I. Joe the movie when it
Was it
came out in the
controversial?
80s?
It wasn't like,
It was controversial for me and my friends because we
yeah.
thought that they killed off Duke like they killed off Optimus Prime in the Transformers movie.
Right, I remember
Well,
this.
And at the end
Yeah.
of the G.I. Joe movie, there's a voiceover where they're like, "Hey, guess what? Joe's Duke came
He's
out of his
fine.
coma. He's okay."
Well, and the story there, for anyone that doesn't know, I'll try to keep it like quick. G.I. Joe, the movie, was in development first, but for some reason, like Transformers got ahead of it. Okay. And so that one, G.I. Joe was going to have a theatrical release, but Transformers came out first
Whoa.
and it bombed. And when they were making the Transformers movie, they were like, "Oh, you're going to kill off Duke in your movie?" That was the plan. They were going to kill off one main character to sort of show that there are stakes, kind of up the ante.
Right.
And they're going, "Oh, well, we'll do that too. That sounds like a great idea. We're going to kill off Optimus Prime. We'll just put in a new toy and say he's the leader now." And that nobody liked it. It didn't do well at the box office and kids were devastated. Like Hasbro way underestimated how much people cared about these characters.
Oh,
well, that was the start of fan culture, right? Like
kinda.
Yeah.
Like them influencing the outcome, because then they went back and they were like, "Oh, you know what? First of all, we're just gonna like release this direct to dump, basically directed to VHS and TV, and we're just gonna do some quick ADR that says Duke didn't die." But they'd animated it that he
so funny.
clearly died.
Yeah,
right.
So
he
it's
gets
kind
a
of hilarious
staff directly thrown into his heart. It's like so
exactly
crazy.
And who can tell that somebody's fallen into a coma? They're like, "He's fallen into a coma." It's so funny. And then you're right, like at the very end you see absolutely no one talking. It's just all the Joes celebrating, like a long distance shot in the Himalayas, and there's like a quick radio burst that's like voiceover, and it just goes, "Great news, Duke came out of his coma."
Yeah. Yo, Joe, and then roll the credits.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
It's basically the end of the movie. It's
it's the very end. It's like the last seconds of it.
Yeah.
Duke is fine.
It was cool though, as a kid though, to see them taking it seriously by making movies, because like I think I only was able to access them by renting them. Me and my friends would rent them on VHS, and it the animation was obviously a higher quality than the TV shows for Transformers and both G.I. Joe, but it was also like, oh, now there's Cobra Law and all this other mythology. Yeah,
and now they've kind of found a cool way to like introduce it into this Energon universe that they've created, and it's kind of cool actually. They're these fanatical weirdos that absolutely hate technology, so they despise the idea of Transformers, and they literally sent some of their people out into space to hunt down and like kill all the Transformers, and that's what's crossing over with Kirkman's Void Rivals book.
Damn. Okay.
That sounds very fun.
So like that's how they found a way to connect it all, is they're going to be like, yeah, actually we're going to take some G.I. Joe weirdos and throw them into space.
Right.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, that's fun. That's different.
That's bringing some fun back to comics. I like to hear that shit.
Dude, I mean, I am a little surprised that they aren't just trying to throw dump trucks of cash at Daniel Warren Johnson to stay on, but whatever.
Oh, right. I know. Yeah. I mean, maybe they are. Who knows? Behind the scenes.
He's kind of set on his live streams. He's got like a a Friday night live stream for his show, and he says like
Oh,
he's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
24 issues, and then he's moving on to other things.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's constantly creating. I can't see him staying on anything too long.
I get it. He's young and he's like got the energy right now. I mean, you can't have the energy to do 2 or 3 comics a month forever.
No, there's no way.
No.
Yeah, you got to strike while the iron's hot with all that kind of stuff. You know, it.
On my show, like doing YouTube stuff, I used to do this weekly for like about 5 years, just no matter what, even when I was sick, even when the summer was like brutally hot, I put out an episode, you know, and I was and I was working full-time job at the time. I was destroying my body by just pounding Mountain Dew all day and staying up to like 4 a.m. every night to crank out a video until I finally like had enough of a library that I was like, I think I can slow down a little.
Wow.
And up the quality.
Yeah.
Chris, that actually ties into a question we got in the chat for you.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I missed it. What was the question?
Cova's Lookout said, can Chris give advice on how to grow and maintain an audience on YouTube from making comic book videos?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I'll take a second to answer that. I would say, first of all, don't try to chase the algorithm. Do what you're passionate about. I'd say that about any art or creating a story too, because you're going to burn yourself out if you just try to chase what you think is popular. And then just try to come out on a regular schedule and do what you're passionate about. And it's as simple as that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes total sense. Guys, I got to tell you, I think I'm onto something with this style.
I love what I'm seeing.
It's so simple.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
It's awesome so far.
I love how you're doing the thick feathering there on the mid forearm, the near the elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You were talking earlier about this, Sean. You're like, you were looking at Chris Somney and you go, oh, it's deceptively simple. I'd say the same for like something as simple as that, folks. Like feathering and being consistent and knowing when to do it thick and when thin. Oh, God damn.
Yeah, and again, that just comes from years of like taking the time to really do it, not in the simple fashion, but with a brush, like in a much slower way. It just taught me a lot about those edges. But,
Sean, you have more of a fine art background, right? Like in terms of education?
I have a master's degree, but it's in comics.
Oh, it is in comics. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you went to art school of some sort, but I wasn't 100% sure what you studied.
I studied sequential art. I got a master's degree in sequential art. My undergrad was in illustration, and I double majored with photography, and then I minored in creative writing.
So you really knew that you were interested in creating comic books and learning how to do
absolutely. Yeah, when I went to college, I said I want to do comic books, but there's no such thing as like studying comic books. So I tried to cobble together a study at a state school that allowed me to learn the aspects of comics, which was illustration, creative writing, and I studied film a little bit too in undergrad.
Jim, what was your degree in?
Illustration from Kansas City Art Institute. So that's just a 4-year program, basically, that doesn't have any application in the real world whatsoever. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went to art school. I did learn, a bunch of things which were beneficial, but art school itself, I sometimes debate whether that's something people need or not.
I don't know.
There's so much independent learning now. I mean, even with just YouTube, like none of that existed in the 90s when I was in college. Right. So I was really going off to art school just to kind of like try and figure out some of the secrets of how all this stuff works,
Right.
And I just got to, I've told the story before, but I just got incredibly lucky because I showed up at school and Mike Huddleston was one of the first guys I met, and he was 2 years older than me, and he was one of the stars of the illustration program. So as soon as I saw his level of talent back then, even, he was the best guy in the department, and I started inking his comic book work. And then, we all Nathan Fox joined us, and we all started renting like a dilapidated art school house together, and it just became like a comic book art making factory. So
That's awesome.
being around the best guys like 24/7 really made a huge impact on my learning and my development as an artist. So
The guys I went to college with were all what I was doing then was actually stand up and improv.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they all sort of went on to be successful there, but I that wasn't quite what I wanted to do, I wish I'd met artists. But yeah, obviously somebody like my friend Ken Jeong has had a tremendous amount of success.
Oh yeah, he's huge. So were you guys in the same class?
No, he was he's a notch older than me, so he was getting his he'd already graduated from college and he was doing his residency in New Orleans when I was in college. But because we were both into stand up and improv and stuff, that's how we crossed paths.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And
That's cool.
there's some other guys that have had some success as from that group as writers and as stand-ups and stuff. He's probably the most visible.
Right.
I got it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's so
an
cool.
interesting.
It was an interesting group to hang with when I was at that age.
I bet.
Jim, I'm looking at your drawing, and sometimes you hold the pen so loosely.
Yeah,
I
with ballpoint, I barely, because I'm just sketching. I'm just
so
having
confident.
fun, and it's just like,
Yeah, Jim's confidence is crazy.
it's like
when do you think you got that? Because I mean, your art is you're noticeably yours, but it's evolved over the years. If we jumped all the way back to Gen X or Clerks or something, it's blockier and stuff. Did you still sort of draw with that confidence then?
I think it was more controlled and thought out because I used to pencil tighter back then during the Clerks early.
Yeah, you were much tighter. Yeah, totally.
And if you look at the way I inked that earlier work, it almost looks like a coloring book or something. Like it's just very tight, black, thick black lines around everything. And then, honestly, man, it was kind of a health issue where I started getting carpal tunnel and wrist and hand issues young, in my 24, 25 from doing that style. And I specifically remember going to a chiropractor when I lived in Arizona in 98, 99, and also getting acupuncture, and then just kind of realizing okay, if I'm going to have a career with real longevity, I think I actually have to just change the way that I'm doing the work. So that kind of led me down the path of, getting looser and revisiting artists that I already liked, Bill Sienkiewicz and then eventually, I started looking at what Ashley Wood was doing, Sam Keith, and in 2007, Ashley Wood showed me the Pilot Parallel pens in San Diego at San Diego Con. He came by my table and saw me using a crappy felt tip calligraphy pen. He was like, he's Australian, so he's like, "No, mate, no. Jamie, you're gonna love this impression." He's like, "No, mate, no. You got to use you got to use these. Blimey!" and
was that English?
I don't know. I don't know.
That was some
crikey. He's like,
Jim has mastered one impression so far. That's his sinister minister character that he does all the sort of opening sketches with.
That's the Chocolate Milk Bandit.
You got to get these specific. Crocodile Dundee is going to come over after you.
What?
So the Pilot Parallel pen came. This pen right here. This came into my life, and this kind of changed. You don't need to worry about line weight, going back and making line weights on your work. This is one and done. You put a line down. That's your line. And then I just kind of fuse the style together based off that. there's no repeats. You don't need to go back and add like thicks and thins to things. And then that's kind of transferred over to even like my ballpoint drawing, where it's just one and done, where, you know, you're having fun, and the rendering is kind of what defines the forms and the shapes and stuff like that. So,
Oh wow, that's gorgeous.
a little Storm Shadow.
Oh, that's
guy.
awesome. Those are awesome.
This is the whole ninja family: Storm Shadow, Jinx, and Snake Eyes. But yeah, I mean, it's a little. I'm just kind of a graphomaniac in general, so I just like making lines on paper. Like, even if this doesn't come out to be great, it's more like the exercise of doing it.
Yeah,
is
I totally get that.
You know, I just love pushing the ink around. It's just fun.
You like the slangs in the ink.
It's something I tell, like, Sean, I'm sure, you know, whenever we're in New York, we always get like Kubert school kids coming by the table and people asking for advice. And some of them look so serious and stressed out about this stuff that I'm like, I'll just whip out my sketchbook and I'll show them. I'll be like, listen, man, like, you want to get better, right? Like, that's important, but don't forget to have fun. Like, drawing should be fun. It should be relaxing. It should be zen.
Or you'll burn out.
Right, exactly. And it's like, it's not going to be that every time, but if you can kind of find the joy in it every time you crack open the sketchbook or experiment, like, that's really what kind of keeps it going for me. The exploration part of it, you know.
Yeah, you won't burn out that way.
I hope not. I mean, I still go to the drawing table every day feeling excited to draw like that.
I love drawing, even when I'm not happy with what I create. Like, the act of just sitting down right now and vegging out and like drawing lines, like, just relaxes me. It makes me feel so
exactly.
Good.
Yeah, like Jim said, just making marks is just, it feels great. It just feels great.
It does.
Quick shout out to Eric Canete in the chat.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow. I am
got
so
Eric in the house.
I've missed a few shout outs while you guys were talking, but we've also got West Coast Avengers. John Amore's in the chat as well. What's up, John?
What's up?
Nice.
Is Dave back from?
Nope, he's still
Japan?
there because Tokyo Comic Con hasn't happened quite yet.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, is that this weekend or?
Yeah. Wait, this weekend is definitely CCXP down in Sao Paulo. I think it's next weekend is Tokyo Comic Con.
Wait, I thought CCXP just happened. No?
Did it? I might be off a week. I'm a little sick.
I just saw Rafael Grampa post a picture of him at that con walking around the Keanu.
Okay.
And I thought it was like recent.
In that case, maybe this is Tokyo Comic Con weekend.
Nice. Okay.
I'd love to check that one out someday.
Yeah,
Although
I did that one.
Very American heavy in terms of what they like there.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
I did that show in 2019 with Peach and Yo and Matteo Scalera, and I was a little surprised at how Western of a show it was. I was expecting to see way more like manga and crazy independent.
Jim, we can read between the lines. You wanted to buy a bunch of yaoi, and you came home disappointed that you didn't get enough.
Wait,
wanted to
what
see
is
some
yaoi?
Are you serious? That's boy love manga.
You guys got any turtles, boy love, reptilian love comics?
I specifically am only into Leonardo and Michelangelo. That's my team. Leonardo
say
and
though,
Donatello
man-
doesn't. I only come twice for those. Sorry, I'm gonna get you guys demonetized.
Way filthier things have been said on this show, Chris. Don't even
That's
worry.
the only
That's
reason I
damn
felt comfortable making that joke.
Way filthier
I
things.
watch your show.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
I will say one thing that I enjoyed very much, though, was even though it was Western style, seeing Japanese people's interpretation of cosplaying like Marvel and Star Wars, they all had their own little unique twist on things, and
That's
that
cool.
that made it really fascinating. Like, oh, this is the Japanese version of all this stuff. Okay, now I get it. Like, that's cool.
Cosplay has become such like an entertaining part of comic conventions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like the best.
It's I mean, it's ingrained in the culture at this point.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like it's gotten so good, right? Like when we were kids
Yes,
going to
it
a
has.
Comic Con, you might have a guy in like a Star Trek shirt, but like the makeup and the elaborate costumes now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No,
Yeah.
totally. Star Trek shirt.
I feel like I didn't make a big enough deal about Eric Canete being here. So Eric,
Dude.
what's up, buddy? Hope you're great.
He says
I
he's
Miss
such a
you,
nerd,
love
Eric.
you. Yeah, I didn't mean to be just like, oh, Eric, cool. He's never gonna come back.
No, you just scared Eric away, Jim. Way to go.
God damn it.
You guys have such
Sorry.
a nice crew of like of friends that, like when you do like the Inkpulp discussions. I think you should consider doing more roundtable discussions.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I found some old videos where you had like 2 or 3 people on, and you guys were just discussing the craft is all. And I like
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love doing that stuff.
That was like the that's the pandemic era, man, when we would have like 3 or 4 guys. And you guys, for those people watching, if you don't know, Inkpulp, the YouTube page, does have this insane archive of us in like 2020 doing shows where we're drawing and inking with Tim Sale, rest in peace, Klaus Janson, Tommy
totally.
Lee Edwards, Matteo Scalera, Eric Canete. You know, there's a whole Rob Schraub did some stuff. Jim Rugg did a show with us. So there's like a whole smorgasbord of content, you know.
Yeah.
The kids out there love their content, Sean. They love it.
I'm trying to give it to them.
That's the hot new thing on the streets.
Deliver that content.
Yeah, that's the hot new item.
By the way,
Dude,
Jim, sorry, I was
Go
going to
ahead,
say, Eric said he thinks you did mean that, Jim. Just so you know.
I think you did. Okay, great. Okay.
I think I might be able to do some comics much faster like this.
You've discovered a new.
I think so.
a new hack.
New style, new hack.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? You tell me. Is it a new style or is it just a new approach?
I mean, Jim knows your stuff better, but I feel like it's you.
Definitely still looks like you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. It's graphic and simple and quick, right?
It looks good.
I dig it.
And I'm not just saying that. It looks good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, wow. Are you feathering that with the Tombow?
Yeah, everything's with this. I've done everything.
Yeah, I
with this.
didn't think you changed, but I just really like what that looks like. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You got to get that feathering in.
I can't help but do it. It's in my DNA of describing form.
I'm trying to
Can't
draw
help
this,
it.
like, having some jitter. I don't know if this idea is working or not.
Dude, look at those blasts coming out of the muzzle of the
It
gun.
looks so good. I've been
That's
looking
cool.
at it.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
I'm having fun, but I'm like very self-conscious when you guys are drawing and somebody like Eric Canete is in the chat room. I'm feeling so self-conscious about every choice I make.
No, don't, man. We're just
Awesome, Chris.
Dude,
We're just
just
having
do
fun.
you. Just do you.
All right.
You know, Chris, you mentioned earlier like the Mike Zeck covers on G.I. Joe, and
they were.
I was
huge
at
for me.
my dad's house over Thanksgiving weekend, and I forgot to bring back my box of G.I. Joe comics that are still in the basement. But I enjoy going when I'm at my folks' house. I still have a couple boxes of things there, and it's kind of nice just to go in their basement and like chill out and look at some of the old comics that are still down there. But I have a whole run of like, I think it's like issue 1 through basically 100 of G.I. Joe.
Dude,
That's
props
really good.
to your parents for not throwing it away.
Oh, dude, Sean, I've had to tell them numerous times throughout the years, like, don't throw. And because some of my old art is in the basement as well, and they know not to, trash
Yeah,
it
but,
at this point.
respect. I said that too. It didn't stop my mom from throwing shit away.
Oh shit!
By the way,
And that's
Jim,
when yeah.
I just want to say thank you. You put me in touch with Peach, and that's the next episode that I've got coming out on ComicTropes
Oh,
this
hell
coming
yeah.
weekend. A
Sweet.
deep dive with Peach
Oh, congrats.
on the show.
That's awesome.
So thank you. That wouldn't have
Oh,
happened.
my pleasure, man.
Jim, we should get Peach on here to draw with
Oh
us.
my God, yes.
Yes, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
What's
that
the
would be
time
great.
difference with
17. Oh, for you guys that from the, what do you call it? I'm in the Pacific time zone, and they're 17 hours ahead. So
So
just do the math.
14 for me. 14 for me.
15?
No,
for-
add more.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right, right.
plus
So
2 for you,
21 for me. 21 for me.
Oh shit! Oh my god. Okay.
But
There's
that's
still-
not bad. So 7, so that would be like 6 p.m. their time. Or no, it'd be even earlier. It'd be like 4 p.m. their time.
Yeah, you'd have to do it at a different time, I think, to make it or record it. She might like that because, you know, they were like double checking. They were like, this isn't going to be like live with comments from the audience. And I was like, no, this is just us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
you might have
Yeah,
fun
we-
doing it that way, like one time.
Yeah, we could do a
A
recorded
recorded.
thing with them if it had to go that way.
I'm just brainstorming, but
I forget that she gets like weird,
Right,
like
anxiety.
weird people come out of the
yeah.
woodwork when it comes to
That's true.
her stuff. I don't know that she's in a different
That's true.
category now. You know.
Yeah, that's very true.
I've just received a message from Eric Canete asking if he can join in on the show, if he can come in.
Oh my God.
What? the
I'd love to
heck?
have Eric come in.
Let me send him the link quickly.
Is
By
he
the way,
ready to
shout-
draw?
He is drawn as we speak. By the way,
Oh my
quick shout
God.
out to Erwin Papa in the chat who done the Sean and Jim
Oh,
piece.
Erwin, yes, dude. Thank
Oh,
you
nice.
for the crazy Savage Street Vigilante fan art. It's beautiful. We showed it off.
Yes. Can't wait for Sewer Boys 2, Erwin.
Sewer Boys 2, baby.
Let me
Yeah,
show it again
yeah.
real quick. Here it is. Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You're on it, Jamie.
I try my best, Chris. Thank you.
Jamie's a pro. Jamie's a pro.
But it's a different set of skills to do like live like this, switching between the
Yeah.
cameras to like make sure it's
Totally.
relevant to what's being discussed and, you know, compared to editing. So I appreciate that you have a variety of skills there.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. That's what I used to do when I worked in like a podcast studio. That was all live switching.
Got
Whereas
it.
now
Oh,
I edit,
really?
like, post. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Got it.
Jamie's fancy.
Guys, I'm like I don't know if I've told you, I'm like a huge fan of Eric's art, and I'm like shaking a tiny bit. I'm really nervous.
Oh shit.
I'm really I didn't expect anything like.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
every stream, Chris. Every
You
stream.
never know what's going to happen on Inkpulp. But to be fair, Chris, I'm a huge fan of Eric's art too.
I hope everybody is.
Yeah, I think every artist is definitely.
I'm also a massive fan of Dave Johnson, and you had that like great discussion on this channel with him. And
Yeah.
wow, just talking
Oh, I
about
need
the
to-
difference. With,
I need to watch that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I feel like
So let me
actually,
ask you real
funny-
quick. Was Dave
Yeah.
crabby?
Dave was fun.
Oh, okay,
you know,
good. Okay.
Yeah, Dave did great. He was a lot of fun. He had some crabby moments, but he also owned them. I mean, he owned them.
He's so
he was,
funny.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, he was very self-aware.
Okay, good.
Um,
Good.
Actually, it's funny you guys talk about Dave because as I'm doing this, I think I'm just doing Dave Johnson right now. That's what this feels.
Interesting. Okay.
I can see what you're talking about, but having looked at enough of your art, that's clearly you, Sean.
Thank you.
There's maybe a certain amount of roundness to some of your choices where Dave might be a notch more angular, for instance. It's
Yeah.
such a minor thing. You have to look at things side by side to really compare.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Dave definitely has an angular thing with most of his his stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
I think the first piece of original art that I ever bought myself, like out of college when I had some money, was a Dave Johnson Super Patriot page. I'm pretty.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome,
yeah.
dude. I was gonna name drop the Super Patriot in particular. That's like one of my favorite things he's done. It's so great.
Oh, it's so good. You know, he's doing one of those Batman issues, the last Halloween.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
that's
know
right.
that actually.
That's right.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he's doing there.
So Mateo's doing one, Dave's doing one.
Yeah, there's 10 or 12 artists. Chiarello did one.
Yeah, there's 10 issues. Chiarello just did this one.
Right, Enrico
Klaus
Marini
did last week.
one. Klaus did one.
Who did the first one? All of a sudden I forget.
The first one.
Someone in chat.
Oh, Riso, Eduardo Riso.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So yes.
I got that one and I got the Klaus one. Chiarello's his came out last week?
Past week, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not today. 7 days ago. Got it.
Okay. What came out? Did you go hit the comic shop today, Chris?
No, there were only about there was a very small handful of books, so I just put it off for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is it a 5th week? It might be a 5th week because it was a small release schedule anyway.
Got it.
Do you go every Wednesday, Chris, usually?
Typically, as long as I can.
Got it.
And that's more just because I enjoy doing that live show on ComicTropes After Dark, and I can then just be up to date and sort of talk about what's been happening in the comics world.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, that's where I get basically my comics news of what's going on with new.
I was going to say
books.
the same thing.
Yeah, I just sort of curate what looks like the most interesting topics across the spectrum.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Canete.
Eric! He's alive! What up, brother?
What's up, buddy? Thank you for
Kids.
joining us.
Thanks for coming in, Eric.
Now, Eric, let me ask you right off the bat. You are a G.I. Joe fan, correct? You have to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of your pieces are G.I. Joe related.
Yeah, in fact, when I Googled Snake Eyes drawings today, I saw 5 of Eric's pop up.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I paid a lot of money for you to get those search results, Sean, so it's good to know.
Good investment.
Eric, meet Chris Piers from ComicTropes.
Chris, a pleasure.
Legend.
My pleasure, man. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a privilege. Thank you very much.
So
I'm trying to figure out how I can share my. Unlike you guys, I just do digital stuff, so I feel bad that.
If you go to settings, you should be able to, or present, one of those two. You should be able to present your screen.
There we go. Let me bring this on.
Yes.
You know what, guys?
Can you see
Is
that?
that Serpentor? Are you drawing Serpentor?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's so cool.
Now we got to show people. Now
we
you can
do.
start super chatting. We're
how's
really bringing.
everybody's
Oh yeah, we
evening?
haven't. Wait, what'd you say, Eric?
I said, how's everyone's evening? Are you guys reading Shadow?
I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, I'm having a blast right here.
This is just the best.
Yeah, having a great time.
There are programs, guys, where you can all share one big canvas and draw in different spaces digitally. Did you ever think of doing something like that for an episode?
That would be cool.
I never even heard of that.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
yeah. There's a
Shit.
friend of mine, Harry Partridge, that does cartoons, and I had him on my live show, and we just drew together on the same, sort of canvas, just different parts, and we could if we wanted to, we could mess with each other. It was or collaborate. It was really fun.
What was it called?
damn,
Chris?
that's awesome.
I wasn't expecting to talk about it, so I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to look it up. What is that? I
think
take
Apple has a first party version of that now. I don't know how in depth it goes for drawing tools though.
Also, what brought the subject matter of G.I. Joe up?
Chris is a huge G.I. Joe fan.
Oh, dude.
And
That's
so
awesome.
we kind of themed it around his appearance. But I mean, I was also a G.I. Joe fanatic. I mean, I still dig it, but as a kid, man, for the 80s era, I was definitely into all the G.I. Joe stuff, man. I even collected the bonus points and sent in for the
Yes.
Hooded
Oh,
Commander
sure.
I did that
Yeah.
a few times. The
Yeah.
flag points on the back.
flag points. Thank you.
Flag
Yes.
points.
Yes. Yeah.
That was actually a pretty good move for Hasbro to come up with something like that. Get something back for like if you buy a certain number of toys.
Yeah.
That's how I got my Boba Fett.
Oh, nice.
There you go. There you
Yep.
go.
Wait, you got your Boba Fett from G.I. Joe flag? I think this is a lie. I think this story is
Similar.
No,
I think.
Eric, you were in the Philippines, so you know
I,
you
I,
didn't
but
know
I could
about
barely
this.
even say G.I. Joe, much less
Right,
Boba
exactly.
Fett.
So yeah, they had a awesome crossover event, and you could get a
Racist.
free.
Hey, Jamie, did you get Action Force in Scotland or
I
no?
don't remember that. I remember Action Man.
Action Man is similar,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
But
remember
there was
that,
an
but,
Action
like,
Force comic of like basically the British international version of
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
the first GI Joe thing I ever seen was the Channing Tatum film. Is it Channing Tatum that's in that film?
Oh, what a treat.
God. Jeez.
Channing
so much
Tatum was in the
Jamie.
G.I. Joe movie.
think
I've
he
never
was
seen
he
any of
not?
those movies.
Jamie brought
was in
down the
both.
energy so fast. He's like, I saw Channing Tatum.
Who does he play? He's not Duke, is he?
Yeah, he's
You-
Duke.
Was he
Oh,
really?
Lord. Okay.
G.I. Joe Rise of the
Dude, but
Cobra.
that was before Channing Tatum was sort of the superstar that he is now.
Wait,
So
was that the
I don't
movie
think
Dan's wife was in?
Yes. No, wait.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Wait,
Dan's
what?
wife in X-Men?
No, she was in Joe.
Oh, okay. All right.
Elena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was in the G.I. Joe
Oh,
movie?
She was. She
Are
was.
you talking about
She was
James?
secretary to the president, I think, in that
Oh.
movie.
We're talking about Dan Panosian's wife.
Oh,
Yeah, she's an actress. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. Wow, how weird.
yeah. In those movies, Zartan, like basically, I think he kills the president anyway. Like so, like and the same actor, is playing. He's supposedly Zartan in the president's disguise the whole time.
Interesting. Okay.
Wasn't he
It
the
sounds
same
better than it
actor-
is.
Wasn't he the same actor that played the Mummy? Is that the same guy?
That's the guy that played Zartan, and then once he
Yeah.
becomes the president, that's Jonathan Pryce from like Brazil and those Pirates of the
Yes,
Caribbean
yes,
movies and
yeah.
stuff. So they had a good cast. It's okay.
Yeah, it's something that I just forget that they exist, basically. I've never.
Well, and the second one had guys like like Bruce Willis and The Rock and stuff as G.I. Joe, and Adrienne Palicki. She's got a lot of
Mhm.
comic book
Mhm.
roles, and her brother's a big comic book writer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eric Palicki writes a lot of great comics.
Yeah, I know that name. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Did they do a Snake Eyes solo?
Yeah,
They
movie?
did.
that didn't go over too well with the audience. I thought it was fine for whatever it was.
How come? Why didn't it do well? Was it just cheesy? Was it...
I think it was because it's not really the recognizable Snake Eyes, I mean, how do you do a movie with a guy that doesn't talk? So they went back in time before he,
Oh, I
gets
gotcha.
his bass and vocal cords all ruined, and he's just a guy,
Snake.
He's just a guy.
I remember that. Yeah.
That
But,
was
the actor was
Henry
someone
Golding?
noteworthy, right?
He was he had just been in Crazy Rich Asians, which of course did very well.
Mhm.
That's a
Mhm.
good movie. I'm biased.
I haven't seen it.
My friend was in that one.
Oh, nice. That was another shocking revelation, collecting the back issues of G.I. Joe as a kid and seeing the origin of Snake Eyes issue.
Yes.
When
Was
they're in
that-
Vietnam. And
Was that canon in generally in GI? Like when you looked at the back of the card.
No,
on
that's
the
kind of
pro
just
cover.
Larry Hama's version.
Mhm.
And
but his
think it's
version is what
the
we
fans
considered
like.
to be.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
think most people think of Larry Hama's G.I. Joe first.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the cartoon. It's hard to say, but there's no real origins for anybody in the cartoon. They're just all joking around and
Right.
fighting
But
monsters.
with that
ghosts.
issue, though, I remember freaking out and showing it to my friends and just being like, you're not going to believe this. It's Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes unmasked. They're in Vietnam. Snake Eyes'
With
face was always
Stalker.
in shadow with Stalker, and then Snake Eyes gets his face like blown off in that.
The funny thing about like G.I. Joe comics is he actually did eventually like get that, like he recovered from that. And then on the first mission with G.I. Joe, he had to save Scarlet, and he again got his face and throat like all damaged.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, so he
Okay.
he's had his face like blown off twice.
Oh,
That's
shit.
funny. Okay.
But the
I totally
comics
forgot about
are
that.
cool. Like during the IDW run, Larry Hama actually killed off Snake Eyes, and that was a big deal, like for fans. However, the comics have always had cloning technology as well as a
Yes.
brainwave scanner, so they did eventually in the Energon universe bring him back. And now
let's
we
not
can
forget. Let's not forget the greatest. Jamie, keep the camera on me real quick. The G.I. Joe yearbook,
Michael
issue
Golden.
2, that Michael
Oh
Golden
yeah,
So good.
yeah.
did. I don't know. Do you guys have you seen the
I have
artist
not
edition?
seen this.
So IDW put this out a couple of years ago, and it's not actually an artist edition; it's an artist portfolio. So you get you get the
damn.
entire issue
Excuse me.
as individual sheets. Let me.
That's such a cool
Just this
format.
Wait, what does that mean?
So it's just like, it's not a full
It's not
book
bound.
artist edition. It's individual. Like, check it out. They're all individual.
It's his art, not the pages.
It's
of
a
the comic.
portfolio. Yeah,
Portfolio.
Uh,
But what's cool is you get all the pages unlettered and then lettered on the other side of them.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice.
huh.
So you
Dude,
get the
it was
gorgeous art.
October
Oh
Guard.
my god!
October
look at
Guard.
that.
I love the
Oh.
October Guard idea.
Dude, was that Beatty inking him there?
Oh, maybe.
Oh shit. No, I
Beatty?
think it's him. I think it's Mike doing everything, man. I think he inks the whole thing
Really?
himself.
Sometimes he did.
Because I think his best stuff is when he's inking himself.
Oh, I don't know, dude. Beatty's inks on him really. I love that. Like the Nom stuff that Beatty inked is my favorite stuff.
The funny thing about like Golden is like that Destro right there. Like he just went from like such realistic vehicles to like such a exaggerated expression, and that was the fun of Michael Golden. Though he could, he's so versatile.
This freaked me out as a kid when I saw this panel because I was like, I didn't know you could draw that cartoony in a straight comic book like G.I. Joe.
Why
And
not?
then, dude, even the vehicles are cartoony. They all have like movement and fluidity to them.
That's what I loved about him. Yeah.
Badass. Like this guy could
That's so
draw
good.
his ass off, man.
Yeah.
Larry
yeah,
Hama
he-
has said that like he watched Michael Golden do this like fisheye lens drawing of Ghost Rider jumping across like the city at night, and that he just eyeballed it all.
I believe it. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he
some
just
people
drew
just do
for.
that.
But this would be the nightmare of most artists, like doing this level of like vehicles and tech, and
Yeah. He
Right.
killed it though. He just killed it.
it is so
and look at
damn
that
good.
cartoony. His faces were the best.
Oh, so he's got a little bit of screen tone in there too, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
you can see
That's
some
interesting.
screens.
Not a lot, but
There's some
a
stuff.
little bit. Yeah.
If anybody in the chat knows, like, let us know. Did he ink
Ink
this?
himself or not.
This
Yeah.
is in yearbook number 2, Daniel. There's some people asking questions.
How dare they?
Yeah, guys, if
Incredible.
you have a question and you want to make sure it gets answered, that's what super chat seems to
Mm.
work best for. Because when a super
Can't
chat
ignore
question
those.
comes in, yeah, we answer those definitely. And oh, you know what? It's the season of Thanksgiving, so I'd like to thank you all for supporting. Eric, did you hear what we learned today about the Inkpulp podcast?
No, tell me.
The Inkpulp podcast is in the top 5% of all video podcasts on Spotify.
I'm sorry. Top what?
5%.
Oh, congratulations, you guys. All
But
that
hey,
hard
it's
work's paying off.
congratulations to you too. Those were the episodes you were on this year.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is all your fault.
Eric.
Yes, Michael Golden also worked on the Nom at Marvel.
I got the Nom #1 signed at New York Comic Con this year.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I've got the Nom magazine format black and white ones that are like my treasures.
It's a really good book.
That wasn't that was Golden.
Now that I think of it, like it's wild to think if that was coming out in the 80s, we were only something like maybe 15 years at tops from like
right
the stories that they were telling. As a kid, it seemed like it was, ancient history in a way, but it wasn't. It would have been like really fresh in the minds of the writers and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. That Tunnel Rat story he did was so good.
Yeah.
That was in the Nom, Sean?
Yeah, that was in the Nom. It was
Yes, okay.
I remember reading it and loving it, but then when I was in school and I studied it and how he just like built all this claustrophobia into the page, it was so good.
I always find those books when I'm bin diving, like dollar boxes, and so I've been picking them up, and I'm just waiting to get like a complete collection so I can actually just sit down and read them.
Of G.I. Joe?
The Nom, the Michael Golden
the
issues.
Nom.
Like, yeah, they're out there, man. You can find them easily if you go digging.
The Nom isn't expensive if you want to like just have something fun to look for as a back issue to collect.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Eric. Dude, that face already looks crazy. That's awesome.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Eric's here to show us how it's done.
Eric,
we're just drawing, you guys.
There's already a texture underneath everything. Did you add that? It looks like you did.
Which part?
Now it's sort of like, I guess when you zoom in to a certain degree, it looks like there's a texture.
Oh,
but is that just a gradient?
There was a selection. When there's a selection grid on top of it.
Oh, there is.
Just to show you which part you have not, selected yet.
I understand.
Are you using Procreate, Eric?
I am. I'm winding down for the evening with you guys.
Nice.
Thank you.
How's Thanksgiving and everything, man? The family's well?
Yeah, uneventful, which is a good thing, How about you guys?
Yes. That's the best. We had the best Thanksgiving because it was just the four of us, and we didn't do much of anything. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Low pressure.
Yeah, just easy.
By the way, guys, Christopher Lopez in the chat says all golden on those pages.
That's
also
thank
good
you.
colors, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
He did the colors too. Damn.
Good Lord. What an overachiever.
That's interesting.
Shit. It's amazing. Yeah, Mike is an interesting guy. I've gotten to know him over the years from doing conventions, and
interesting in what way?
Prickly?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that.
He's been there and done that, and he's got war stories of being in the industry when creators were treated like shit, and no one was sticking up for them, and he'll let you know that. I mean, he's told me stories about like back in the day, that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Basically, man, our generation for the most part has it pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that was. I mean, Neil Adams did a lot that we didn't have. Helped us without us even knowing.
Oh yeah. There's the troubadours that came before. You kind of have to, show love for all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Skate Man did a lot for the industry.
Totally Skate Man. Yes. Paste Pot Pete, Chris.
Oh, if Feige hires anybody other than me, I'm going to be offended.
Yeah, you've brought.
I brought so much
popularity to him. Just on your own. That
Paste Pot Pete.
That's what I like to call the Trapster, because that was
that's what I drew him in Deadpool. I did a 3 issue arc of Deadpool with him.
I love that name. I love the idea that somebody was like, I'm going to go up against superheroes with glue. And that makes sense to me. I would love to, like, it's definitely backing into like a problem. Like, that doesn't make much sense, but I kind of love the idea of making that make more sense. Like, that this guy just thinks that this is a great idea to work with glue.
Yeah.
I would love to see to write an issue where he just got a job at like Best Buy just to make ends meet because crime isn't working, but he's just constantly trying to think of how to use glue to like better his situation in life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That character seems like it was created maybe on a deadline by a writer who was possibly drunk. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
would've
that
been
seems
Stan.
Not sure.
I don't know.
You know, it's like, you know, John Carpenter had to get really drunk to write the script of Halloween 2 because he just didn't want to make the movie.
For Halloween
And he was
3.
like, I
Check
guess
out.
Michael and Laurie are brother and sister. Because
Well,
I
no,
just
that
watched
was
Return
only
of
for the
Jedi.
TV version, Jim. That wasn't in the theatrical version.
No kidding. There's really?
They don't mention the brother sister thing except for like an extra scene in TV that would like help them get the running time right so that they could fit in ad breaks.
That is
You
crazy.
don't hear anything about brother and sister in the theatrical version of 2.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I know they like then made, you know, like 4 and 5 and 6 and H2O and Resurrection and stuff based on that idea, but no, like if you watch the theatrical version of 2, they don't mention a brother sister connection.
Wow. Okay. That's a whole different movie then.
It is. It's a little better for it, I think. I think they got really hung up on that idea of like he wants to kill all his family.
Yeah, that became, well, that lasted for several movies, obviously. So
It got to the point where you were like, why is he so mad at Busta Rhymes? He's not family.
yes.
Jim, did we watch one of the Halloween movies at your place when I was in Kansas City?
I hope so.
God, what did we
I
watch?
feel like it was one I had never seen, but
Were you altered, Jim?
Oh, yeah, Sean's hanging out over here. Yeah.
I like
there's
altered.
Sean's there.
I was going to say altered is an amazing way.
We did watch that crazy Spanish movie on Shudder of
Oh my God.
Nightmare.
Wait, no, are you talking
Vacation.
about the Argentine one that I told you to watch?
Which one was that, Chris?
When Evil Lurks?
No, this was like a
darn.
total schlock crazy.
Okay.
Was it Spanish or Italian?
I think it was Spanish, man, because like, yeah, the one where the girl has the birthday party and they resurrect the
that one. I
puppet.
thought you were talking about the one with the where it starts off in that like sex dungeon. In that
That's not a
mansion.
thing. Stop making stuff up.
Wait, do you remember this one, Jim?
Yeah, that was.
What was that? Was Italian, right?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That I don't even remember. That was like the erotic adventures of such and such. Or whatever.
Is this something we need to review?
Possibly, Chris, but it
Yeah.
is basically, even though it was on Shudder, it basically is softcore porn.
Yeah.
Well, so was Faust, and we got through that one somehow.
That's true. That's true.
Jamie's probably
Wow.
still traumatized over the amount of editing and blurring that one took.
Oh my
That
god,
was a difficult one.
We're like, we have to include this scene where the woman melts into a pile of boobs, but you are going to have to blur it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That one's so funny because like the blur mask over the boobs just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it takes up like the whole screen.
right.
Just the craziest thing.
We're doing the work for the people, Chris, by reviewing these
Speaking
movies.
of, congratulations to the both of you for that show. Well done.
Thank you. We're about to release our Madam Web episode.
Madam Web.
Oh,
I didn't
boy.
watch.
I can't wait to see that one.
It's Madam Web. At first, I saw it and I was like, oh boy, that was a stinker. And then I saw Joker 2 and I was like, oh no, wait a minute. Madam Web is bad fun. There's bad boring. Never mind. Madam Web is good.
Chris, I think you're the only person I know that saw the second Joker movie. I don't know anyone else who's actually seen it.
Well, obviously, did you see the box office for it? It was terrible.
Yeah,
it was stunning how boring it is. I went to it on opening night because I just felt obligated to, keep up to date. And then I think about 30% of the audience filtered out throughout the course of that evening.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Oh, wow.
And when do people ever leave a movie? Like, it's rare.
Yeah.
But people,
Yeah.
it got like halfway through, which is like an hour and a half. As soon as
Right.
a song would start, 2 or 3 people kept leaving every time.
Wow.
I was going
It
to
was
ask, what was the thing that made them start leaving? It's the song.
Boring. And so, like, as soon as a song would start, they just sort of had like been conditioned that, like, oh, this isn't like nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be people sort of singing, but it's not going to move the story forward. I'm out.
Yeah.
It was interesting, to be honest, to see that happen. I was going like, wow. I went with a friend. He fell asleep.
Wow.
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 It was not a success.
So it deserved all the bad reviews that you kind of heard about.
Probably, to be honest. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It's unfortunate because it's like, I don't want to see a massive entertainment company go out of business or something like that. But
Sure.
they lost so many hundreds of millions of dollars on that. That,
I
like,
can only imagine.
yeah, I think they spent something silly like $500 million when you include marketing.
Shoo. My God.
Damn.
Something silly. I can't remember the exact number. It was like more than any other movie I've ever heard of.
Yeah. Wow. Staggering how money can just be.
Pleasure out of stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't good, but I take no pleasure going like, yeah, that's what the wokesters deserve. Like, that's not me. I'm just like, yeah, well, they tried. They tried something artistic, but probably that was a case where the studio should have had a little more involvement and oversight and been like, wait a minute, what are we spending this money on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, as I've heard it, so I want to confirm it from somebody who's watched it, Chris, do you think it was like how would I phrase this? Like they understood the success of the first movie, right?
Right.
Do you think it was a reaction to that success? Like how,
A little bit. Yeah, I think
it was a cynical,
but it's not clear,
reaction.
Eric.
Yeah.
When you're watching the movie, I didn't think that the point of it was necessarily readily apparent, but I think that possibly it was a reaction saying like, oh no, you shouldn't think this guy is cool.
Yeah.
He's nobody. He's a loser. He's, somebody that's a killer. That's a bad thing.
Sure.
And I
sure.
get that, but we're starting from the premise of like one of the most famous villains.
Sure.
And I don't really get a lot of enjoyment watching him just go through a trial and just lose.
Sure.
And
right.
like, he doesn't commit any crimes. He doesn't like kill anyone.
Really?
No.
Okay. Wow.
He's
okay.
in no
yeah, I mean,
position
you might as well just spoil the whole thing. Like, I'm probably not.
yeah,
Gonna
There's
I'm
not
never
much
gonna
to
watch
it, guys. There's not much to it. He's in jail. After the last one ended with him in jail. He does.
Right.
He's in jail and he's awaiting trial.
Mhm.
And he eventually goes to trial and it goes badly. And then eventually some people like try to break him out by throwing doing a bomb or something. And he escapes briefly and he goes back to jail and somebody kills him in prison. And in the background, you see them that killer cut their face to look like the Joker from Heath Ledger's Joker.
I did
Oh,
hear
boy.
about that.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? Implying this was never really the Joker. Oh,
Oh, interesting.
and you shouldn't have like admired him for anything because he's a bad person. I get it. Well, I didn't admire him.
Huh.
What
I
an
don't know.
interesting approach to like,
It's not a
clearly
bad
understanding
idea.
why it was successful and then being annoyed, cynical against why it was successful, right?
I guess.
I can't begin to understand it.
I can't begin to fathom on this scale
Yeah.
because the first movie was made pretty cheap and made a ton of money. And so Warner Brothers was like, have at it,
Yeah.
But his idea was sort of saying like, oh, just to be clear, this guy's nobody to admire. He's a bad person and a damaged person. And I hope you like a lot of show tunes. Because
Do you think, and I've heard that one where it's like they reacted disfavorably. When by they, I mean the creator of the director, the writer, what have
Todd
you.
Phillips, yeah.
Right. And so they reacted as if, hey, you shouldn't be admiring this. But I don't think it was coming from
I don't know.
its success was coming from a place of admiration. I don't think people were
I
like,
don't
look
think
how
so
cool
either.
he is. I think people were coming at it from that's relatable to me. Somebody who's that level of downtrodden and misunderstood. I think that's pretty powerful that they told a story that people could relate to, even despite the fact that he's a lunatic.
Well, I mean, the first movie is very, very much like. Sorry, my cats are yelling. What do you call it? Scorsese films. Taxi Driver,
Sure.
King of Comedy. Very,
Yeah.
very similar.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't think that like anyone ever looked at those and was like, I want to be De Niro. I don't
Sure.
know.
Sure.
Maybe one or two people. Hi,
Right.
cat. Hi. Sorry. My cats are very energetic.
Cat's
I
got some
love it.
strong
That's
opinions
all
about
right.
Joker
That's
too.
awesome.
He's like, I hate that fucking movie.
I wouldn't make my poor cat watch it. I wouldn't. That would be rude. Dude,
Yes, that's
Jim,
true.
I love that Cobra Commander back there. I love it.
Yeah, he's just hiding out back there. Look at him.
Hello.
Destro.
Destro, you've screwed up again.
There you go. There
that
you
was
go.
good. That was good.
Well, here's my snake eyes.
Yes. Yes.
It's even better.
And the voice actor of Cobra Commander, also the voice actor of Starscream, correct?
Chris Latta.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
He was a comedian. He was a funny guy. He was in a bunch of stuff growing up. I remember seeing him on he was part of what was it? Married with Children. We mentioned earlier the comic.
Oh,
he
shit.
was on that as part of that No Ma'am group.
Yeah, Al
You
Bundy's.
remember that?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Wait, Starscream was in that club?
Yeah, the actor. He was
The
also
voice,
on.
the voice.
I think he was a Klingon on Star Trek back in the day. Star Trek Next Generation. He did real acting roles. Yeah, but he was kind of like a Sam Kinison type, like kind of a big fat party animal guy, and he died young.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That was,
Oh, and as long as we're mentioning that, like this past week, the voice of Baroness passed away. Morgan
Yeah, it's a
Loughlin.
little heartbreaking.
Oh, shit.
She's such a great, iconic voice, right?
Yeah,
Baroness?
for sure. Yeah.
Baroness is
Did that voice actress do other, like, well-known?
Yeah, she did a bunch of.
characters?
Oh, I'm trying to think. There was another famous thing she did, but it's not coming to me right now. She did all the cartoons back then, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think voiceover, like when I lived in LA, I got to meet some voiceover people, and it seems like it's a pretty small community of people that are doing the voices for all these cartoons.
I think it's gotten even smaller because now, like, a movie, they obviously hire like a name actor to try to bring people into the theater,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like Chris Pratt can voice anybody, apparently.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Skeletor.
He's Mario as well, right?
Yeah, he's Mario. He's Garfield. He's everything, man. He can do it.
Bill Murray's not Garfield anymore?
No.
I don't
Come on,
approve of
Jim.
that. I don't approve of that.
I don't think that was exactly Bill Murray's like proudest moment. Just to be
No.
clear.
I'm just joking around. I'm
dude,
talking
he
shit.
shit all over that in Zombie.
Oh yeah, in Zombieland.
What did he say? I don't recall.
In Zombieland, he's
plays
dying, and
himself.
Woody Harrelson says, "Any regrets?" And he goes, "Well, Garfield."
Oh boy, come on.
But then at the end of the movie, they show the outbreak, and he's on set filming Garfield. Is that correct?
That was the sequel.
That was the Al Roker one, right? That was he
Yeah.
was promoting Garfield.
He was promoting Garfield like 3 or something like that.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Jason Latour told me he made Bill Murray laugh once, and if I could do that, I would be so happy. He said he was getting off a plane, and Bill Murray was, there, and Latour goes, like just something simple, like keep trying. You're gonna get there someday, and like he said, Bill Murray actually laughed at it, and I was like, man, if I could make Bill Murray laugh, I'd die happy.
Oh yeah. That's like when I saw Louis C.K. at Whole Foods in West Hollywood years ago, and he used to be one of the head writers on the Chris Rock show on HBO.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
His show hadn't blown up yet. Like he wasn't the famous Louis
No, he
yet,
was a
but
writer for a long time.
I recognized him from his appearances on Conan, and I love the movie Pootie Tang that he made.
Yeah, that was
Wrote on
his.
that.
That was his. Yeah.
And so I was in line with him, and as I was walking past him at the grocery store, I was like, Sarate. And he turned and looked at me, and he's like, yeah, funny. But he was smiling about it. He was smiling about it, but he was also like, you're a jerk off, whatever. But it was like me being like, no, I saw Pootie Tang, dude. Sarate. Like, it's funny.
He's like, no, I got it. You didn't have to explain.
Right.
Who are the good stand-ups like now? I'm trying to because I used to go to stand-up all the time. I've seen, Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle and David Cross, but I'm trying to think like who the younger ones are.
Well, we just saw Mark Norman in New York after Comic-Con.
How was
Sean and he was hilarious. He was awesome.
Yeah. Mateo told me, Jim, do you remember the guy? I forget his name. He was near the end. He was a shorter guy with glasses. He was kind of like, he wasn't like full of energy.
Was he a stand-up?
Yeah.
He was a stand-up, but Mateo discovered a podcast he did. It's only like 6 episodes, and they're each like 5 to 10 minutes long. But he mentioned on the stand-up something about his father, but he didn't go into it. But this podcast is basically his father was like an absolute con man, and he fell out of their life, and he was trying to retrace the stories about his dad by calling relatives. And Mateo said it's fascinating.
Oh shit! Okay, I can't remember that dude's name, but
yeah, Mateo will remember. I'll ask him.
I love
a few shout
stand-up.
outs for Shane Gillis as a recent stand-up. Shane Gillis.
Yeah, he's good. Did you watch Tires, Jamie?
I've not seen it yet.
Oh, I gotta see it. I haven't seen it either.
I've heard.
What
good
is
things,
that?
though.
It's Shane Gillis's Netflix series.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a show. It's a show, like a fictional show about a tire salesman, tires place. Like,
Did I ever tell you? I guess I only would have told Jim, but like last time I was in Japan, I went to this like humongous tire store because the owner sort of like went crazy with a hobby of collecting vintage vending machines, and it's like the world's largest vending machine park.
oh,
Whoa.
wow.
In Japan.
In Japan, it's called Rat Sunrise. I don't know why, but it's both a tire store on one half of the property, and the other half, he has just at least hundreds of Showa era vending machines, and he hires both cooks and mechanics to keep them all working and stocked.
That's amazing.
It's the most bonkers place,
Wow.
and he like funds it with his tire shop.
That's incredible.
Rat
Did you do a
Sunrise.
video? Did you do a video from there,
I
Chris?
do have
think
a short video on Comic Tropes After Dark, just in case people are curious about.
Okay,
Weird
yeah, that sounds familiar. That's crazy. That's awesome.
I love that. That like somebody was like, I don't care if my hobby is gonna like basically cost me money. Like people need to share my love.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Chris, is this the right one? Is that the one?
Oh yeah, that's
oh,
it.
shit.
That's
Oh
it.
my
And that's
God.
just one aisle. There's basically like 4 or 5 of them. And so like my wife and I drove there. We rented a car last time we went. And I was like, well, as long as we're driving around, because this isn't like in the heart of Tokyo. We're like, I'm going to stop at Rat Sunrise. And all those vending machines work. And yeah, got like hamburgers and weird sodas and popcorns and stuff.
That's cool.
That's so wild. Dude, John Amore's in the house. What's up, John? And he had a good point. 117 watching and only 32 likes. Come on, gang.
Come on.
Hit those like buttons, people.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like and subscribe and
I know we never say
follow
that.
our social media.
Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this went fast. I'll say that this way of working is definitely.
Let's see what you got. Oh, nice. Nice.
What's your big takeaway, Sean? Why did it go so
Clean.
Well,
That's a good
it was.
question. Wow.
I was working simpler. I was limited myself to this one pen. There's no dipping. There's no texture. Like it's just graphic, black, white. I mean, there's a little bit of dry shit happening here, but I was trying to pare it down a lot, and the drawing was looser, so I could make decisions in the inking phase.
Nice.
Looks
fast? Are
awesome.
you confident in that, Sean?
I love
Making
it.
decisions without the having it penciled in first.
I started to be this year.
Oh, you weren't always confident in that. That's the way it's.
Well, I don't know if it was a confidence issue or the way I was inking, like with a brush that's so controlled and precise. I need to really understand what I'm inking, like in terms of marks,
Yeah.
to make those decisions and control it at the same time is tough for me. But I would guess that confidence probably plays a role in that too. But it's like I knew I was just going to have a pen, which is basically just a black pencil, so I was okay leaving it.
Wait, let me go back. You said thinking. Did you say like thinking about it?
With the yeah.
What does
Yeah,
that mean?
so
Clearly, I
like
don't think about stuff. But go ahead.
yeah, so when I'm inking like in my more typical, very controlled brush style,
Yeah.
when I say, I guess thinking was the wrong word. Making decisions about the drawing rather than the surface of the drawing while I'm doing it
Okay.
it's just too much. I need to understand it further, like when I'm penciling it, so that when I'm making my brush marks, they can be like, okay, I can see how light would creep into this black here. So I just want to leave some light penetrating the black with some dry brush there. So if I fully understand the form underneath it, I can make that decision.
I gotcha.
Chris, I noticed that you've moved on to a new piece. Can we get a look at the?
Well,
the
I just
finish
felt
to
like
the
I
first
kind of
piece?
did everything I was going to do tonight on this.
Nice.
That looks awesome,
So
dude.
I had done 2 sketches to like potentially ink tonight, and I was just moving on to this one just to keep working.
Nice.
It looks awesome.
That's badass, man.
I like the pose on this one, but people said that they like, I guess, like the more in your face, like, you see more of the character's face there.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I just said like, hey, I've got 2 sketches that I light boxed for myself. Like, which should I ink? And people said this one, but I don't know. This was the first one I did. I like the pose on it more.
Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely like that. All right, guys, we're creeping up near 2 hours here. Can you believe that?
No.
I know it's flies by, man. I do have to do a 8 o'clock my time out just so I can eat and finish
Yeah, you've got a
packing
big day. Got a big day. Oh shit, Corin's in the house. Corin Kaiser. What's up, Corin?
What?
Yeah, then we'll keep it
thanks
to
for
just one
watching.
more hour, Jim.
Say what?
Just to be respectful.
It'll be me eating my dinner then and just watching you guys.
It'll be me sleeping by that point.
Wait,
Yeah,
we
that's
got Will-
like 4 a.m. for Jamie. That's
Oh yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. Jamie deserves better. I torture you, Jim, but you're right. Jamie deserves better.
yeah. You can torture me, but Jamie, he has 7 children, so
It's 8 now,
And
Jim.
counting.
8. They're flying out.
Yeah, at this point they're just walking out.
Dude, we're having this is like some good numbers we're getting in. We've got 123 people watching right now.
You got the ComicTropes boost.
That's what it
That's
is.
right. We definitely did.
the seal of quality from Chris Pierce.
Dude, speaking
it's
of
been
Irish
so flattering,
cartoonists,
guys. It's so flattering that you because I mean, who am I? I'm just a YouTuber that got Eisner nominated, whatever. For his
I love
comic.
that. I love that.
dude, we were
That
talking
was
about
2011. That was a long time ago.
No big whoop, just
No big
Eisner's.
whoop.
You've heard the name. You've heard the
Every
award.
once in a while I drop that just because people are like, what?
Oh, you should. You should. People
Oh
use
my
that.
god,
in
I'm
their
looking up.
bios.
I've been looking at my own art. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at Eric's thing.
I know I'm watching him
And
draw.
what?
right now.
I can't believe that's all. This has all happened in just like a few minutes.
I know. It's sick.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
I'll treat it as inspiration, not like.
Oh, dude, Jake Parker's in the house. What
Jake
up,
Parker, what
Jake?
up?
Oh, Jake. Yeah, Jake was on your show.
Jake said, "What did I miss? You missed the whole show, Jake."
Guys, go back and watch our Jake Parker episode for incredible
Yeah.
insights into.
And Jake wants to come back. I was talking to Jake today. He wants to come.
Oh,
back, so we'll
definitely.
have him back. Yeah, we'll definitely get.
Do
back.
you guys have like any sort of dream guests that you would want to draw with that you like aren't necessarily even like buddies with? Like, have you
That's a
talked
good
about anything
question.
like that?
I mean, I have.
You don't have to put it out there.
I would love to get Sienkiewicz on, and I know I can reach out to him. It's just organizing
that'd be
like
sick.
schedule stuff.
Yeah.
That would be.
But no, I
I'd say-
have lists and lists of people that I would love to.
Yeah, I think
Come on.
honestly, I think we could get most of the people we'd want. I think
I think
we
so.
could.
You guys are
Between
talented
Jim,
and kind.
but also
Thank
just
you.
between Jim and me, just knowing people, I think
Yeah.
we could get it just about him. But like someone we could never get, but imagine getting Jamie Hewlett on the show. Like that'd be insane.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
if you were gonna do it, now would be the time because he's got that Foo Action book coming out that he's sort of promoting.
Jim has it. Jim
right
got
here.
it.
Boom.
They offered me one, and I felt too guilty to accept. I was like, no,
It just showed up in the mail yesterday. It is gorgeous.
show us a little. Show us a little.
Yeah, it's a slipcase.
Matt Wakeman, and right? Matt Wakeman did a bunch of the writing on this. Yes.
Yeah. Let me.
Hewlett would be fascinating.
It comes with a print set. There's a print set inside of it.
Oh my
The
god.
value.
Yeah, I mean,
That is amazing.
Jamie's art, man. You can't
One of my absolute favorites.
mess with this dude. Let me get the glare off. But yeah, it basically this comic strip ran in the Face magazine, and they basically go through artwork of Jamie's, obviously all gorgeous looking
Wow.
stuff, sketches.
And it's limited edition too, folks.
Just look at how good. I mean, even just his
Yeah,
little,
so-
even just his sketches
Yeah.
are insane.
So much personality in everything he does.
Yeah. Look at that. Like, look at how much personality, you're right, like that has.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It feels so confident. Every decision feels so
Completely.
intended.
He's in my top 10 of all time. You know.
Yeah, I think he's without a doubt one of the greatest artists we've ever had.
So it's cool because they show the character designs and then they show like his pencils for his comics. and barely inked stuff. And then it just goes into like, they just reprint all the comics of the Foo Action that ran in the Face magazine. So you get to
Wait, once
experience
again,
everything.
Jim, what is it?
Jamie Hewlett, after Tank Girl wrapped, did a comic strip called Foo Action in the Face magazine, which I believe is like, a British publication, but made it over to the States. And this is collecting all of that material. So this is like late 90s, early 2000s, right before Gorillas was hitting.
It might even overlap, actually.
And it overlapped a bit. You're right. But I mean, his work is just, what can you say? It's just incredible.
Gorgeous.
But I mean, I can flip to any page and it's like,
it's incredible.
So this is like a crowdfunding campaign to get this book.
No, it's on Amazon. I just checked it out today. It's $100, $90 on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it'll like show up in a day.
Well, then I'm definitely getting one. I thought it was a limited edition thing for maybe.
Chris, you know what? It started out as that like over a year ago because I supported the campaign, and then they canceled the campaign and they refunded everybody their money. And then just 2 or 3 months ago, they just straight up offered it online and were like, no crowdfunding. Here's the book. It's $100,
Jim, does it say, is it published by Titan? Because this is starting to sound familiar.
It's Silver Jubilee.
No, that's the name of the book. They said it was called the Silver Jubilee Foo Action book. Yeah.
It is published by.
I gotta know. Will Robson
is published by Titan. Sorry, it is.
Oh,
I guess it doesn't really matter, but I got
the Amazon page says it is at least.
Nice. Okay.
Will Robson says there's an Art Adams prelim book. Does anyone know about this?
No.
What?
There is. Yep. Plus Flesk Publications putting it together.
Is it out or it's not out yet?
Yeah, it's available on their website, I think.
Shit, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know some of the things I'm going to ask for Christmas now.
yeah, actually. All right, Jim. It's. We should probably wrap it up soon. It's going to be. Got 2
turn
minutes.
into back into.
I know it sucks. I could stay and hang out, but I have too much shit to do tonight.
No, it's fine. I mean, Jamie is in Scotland too, so we can't just.
Eric, did you create some of those brushes?
No, I'm not talented enough or patient enough to. Let much smarter people do it, but yeah, no,
Chris, you got to come back at some point, and Eric, come back anytime, man. Obviously, you're always welcome.
It's a great
here.
way to unwind with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Eric.
Thank you.
That was a nice
This
surprise.
is awesome.
Thank you,
Chris. Thank you for coming on. This was a fun show.
So flattering. Thank you so much. Big fan, and so like it's really lovely to be able to talk to you guys about the craft and GI Joe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's also very cool to like, because like we have this community here. You've got the comic strip community there. It's nice that we can cross-pollinate with each other and like bring each other on, support each other. I like that aspect.
The industry is too small to not help each other out.
For sure.
Exactly.
You guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. You're all wonderful. And if you're in Hawaii this weekend, I'll be a guest at Maui Comic-Con. So cruise by and say hi.
Yeah, Jim will be in Hawaii.
Have a great time, Jim.
Thank you. I ain't ever coming back, guys.
All right. So Inkpulp live from Hawaii.
Let's see.
Chris, props to that Storm Shadow outfit. You rocked it.
Yeah. Let's see it one more time. Do the whole effect.
Feel like such a little 14-year-old.
Yes.
Dude, that is so cool. If I was 14 and had that, oh man. Yeah, that's wild.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. On that note,
Do Jim's Tai Chi.
yes. Yes.
Jim, those and intros were fantastic.
Oh,
Beautiful.
so silly. So dumb. But we we're always having fun, which is I think is the important thing.
Yeah,
I've learned a little bit tonight, guys. I really have. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you to everybody in the chat for all the kind words. You guys got other things to plug?
No, we are plugging.
Savage Street Vigilante, my Kickstarter, guys, is still going in the late pledge option.
Oh,
So
awesome. Awesome.
makes a killer Christmas gift. You can also get Savage Street Vigilante gear that I'm showing off here. And there it is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Book shipping
And
out
also,
in late January.
speaking of good Christmas gifts, Eric, people can get Arc Athena on iconiccomics.com. Is that correct?
Sure. You don't have to. I'm just here to hang out with you guys. You guys are amazing.
Get Arc Athena.
Get
All
it.
of you.
Do
Get
it. Do it now. Awesome, dudes. Thank you so much. And
All right,
Jazzy
thanks,
Jamie
fellas.
Wood, thank you as always. Sean, thank you, brother.
Thank you, dude. Jim, hang out for just 2 seconds after we stop. I have to ask you a couple questions.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.